Sorry. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 32. Prajopadravam alakshya
Prajopadravam alakshya
lokavyatikaram chatam
lokavyatikaram tacham
matham cha vasudevasya
matam cha vasudevasya
sanjahararjunodvayam
sanjahararjunodvayam
prajopadravam alakshya
Prajopadravam alakshya
lokavyatikaram chatam
lokavyatikaram chatam
matham cha vasudevasya
matam cha vasudevasya
sanjahararjunodvayam
sanjahararjunodvayam
prajopadravam alakshya
prajopadravam alakshya
lokavyatikaram chatam
lokavyatikaram chatam
matham cha vasudevasya
matam cha vasudevasya
sanjahararjunodvayam.
sanjahararjunodvayam.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Praja, the people in general.
Praja, the people in general.
Upadravam, disturbance.
Upadravam, disturbance.
Alakshya, having seen it.
Alakshya, having seen it.
Loka, the planets.
Loka, the planets.
Vyatikaram, destruction.
Vyatikaram, destruction.
Cha, also.
Cha, also.
Tam, that.
Tam, that.
Matam, cha, and the opinion.
Matam, cha, and the opinion.
Vasudevasya, of Vasudeva Sri Krishna.
Vasudevasya, of Vasudeva Shri Krishna.
Sanjahara, retracted.
Sanjahara, retracted.
Arjuna, Arjuna.
Arjuna, Arjuna.
Dvayam, both weapons.
Dvayam, both the weapons.
Translation. Please repeat after me. Thus, seeing the disturbance of the general populace
Thus, seeing the disturbance of the general populace
and the imminent destruction of the planets, Arjuna at once retracted both Brahmastra weapons as Lord Sri Krishna desired.
Both Brahmastra weapons as Lord Sri Krishna desired.
Purport.
The theory that the modern atomic bomb explosions can annihilate the world is a childish imagination. First of all, the atomic energy is not powerful enough to destroy the world. And secondly, ultimately, it all rests on the supreme will of the Supreme Lord, because without his will or sanction, nothing can be built up or destroyed. It is foolish also to think that natural laws are ultimately powerful. Material nature's law works under the direction of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says there that the natural laws work under his supervision. The world can be destroyed only by the will of the Lord and not by the whims of tiny politicians. Lord Krishna desired that the weapons released by both Droni and Arjuna be withdrawn, and it was carried out by Arjuna at once. Similarly, there are many agents of the all-powerful Lord, and by His will only can one execute what he desires.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swamin Ete Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kata Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhe Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langate Girimat Kripat Mahamunde Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So it's a very beautiful words. How obediently and compassionately by looking at the destruction of the planets, Arjuna has withdrawn both the weapon of what he showed and what Ashwatthama has launched. So this today's world, where they have innovated so many nuclear weapons and missiles, surface to air missiles and all those things, they are gross. There is nothing subtle at all. When they cannot even reach the subtle level of the material existence, where is the question of destroying a planet? There is no question of destroying or annihilate the world with their nuclear bomb or anything. Even the city which they built only they can destroy. They can destroy buildings that they constructed. They can destroy cities that they have constructed. They cannot destroy anything that Lord has created, even with their own full of their energy put together. Just like when a forest fire takes place, all the world's fire alarm party or the fire brigade cannot extinguish the fire. Only rain can extinguish. So that is the creation of the Lord. Even annihilation of Lord's creation is impossible by the greatest of scientists and everybody. What to speak of then, creation. So this is the beauty. We read this particular wonderful knowledge from the Srimad Bhagavatam verses. Everything is resting on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, on his own supreme will. And without his sanction, not a blade of grass will move. That is his power. That is his potency. And what to speak of move, you cannot even destroy a grass without the will of the Lord. So this is very foolish to think that natural laws are ultimately powerful. Natural laws are created by the creator, who is the supreme personality of Godhead. He says, Maya Dyaktena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So this Maya is very difficult, powerful, and it is working under the superintendence of the supreme personality of Godhead. But one who surrenders to Krishna can surpass this, just like the water held in the pit made by a hoof print of a calf. So material nature's law work under the direction or the superintendence of the Lord. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Under his supervision only, everything works. It is he who creates and annihilates. Not these so-called people or scientists, atom bomb and nuclear bomb and missiles cannot destroy anything other than what they have created. Secondary creation, third creation, fourth creation, like that. Constructing building, and Osama bin Laden come and destroy the building only, not the city. They put a bomb in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They will only destroy the city that they have constructed, not Lord's creation. So Lord's creation, even they cannot destroy, what to speak of then anything else. So that is all powerful Lord. So even 100 years ago in Kolkata, there was a very big barrister. His name was Mr. C.R. Das, and his father died insolvent. His father was very respectable man, but later on he became so much debtor that he died insolvent, declared. That means he could not fulfill his debt. Such a father is an enemy to the son. So, which means that his son could not inherit any of the property of the father. But by his practice as a barrister, he became very rich man. So, and about 100 years ago, if you see 100, 150 years ago, when 50,000 rupees income is a very big amount. So, and he has actually cleared all the debt of his father also by his own earning. My father died in debtor. Now I have got money. You can take. In this way, he has distributed his money to all those who have, the creditors who has owed money to his father. So this is the duty of the son generally. But if one is poor man, he cannot pay. He becomes subject matter of criticism only. So under the circumstance, the father becomes the enemy. When the son cannot repay, then the father becomes enemy. So therefore, Chanakya Pandita used to say, Rinakartha Pita Satru and Mata Satrur Vyabhicharini. And if the mother, either she becomes a prostitute or marries for the second time in the presence of elderly children, she is also considered enemy. Rinakartha Pita Satrur Mata Satrur Vyabhicharini. Chanakya Pandita, he had very bad experience with his wife actually, Chanakya Pandita. So he says, Rupavati Bharya Satru. If the wife is very beautiful, she is also enemy. And Putra Shatrur Apandita. If the son is a rascal, no education, he is also an enemy. So these are the family enemies. Anyway, everything is there in this thing. Our problem is forgetting Krishna, due to which we became enemy to ourselves. So what we need to do, we have to follow the Bhakti Yoga by surrendering to the spiritual master. That's the only way. Our problem is, what is our problem? Krishna Bhuli Anadi Bahirmukha Jiva Krishna Bhuli Gela. Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Atayeva Krishna Veda Purana Karila. The Vedas or Puranas are there. Instructions are there. So Bhagavad Gita is there. Vasudeva personally giving instruction. But we neither take moral instruction, neither Vasudeva's instruction. Neither we have got any intelligence of our own. This is called Kali Yuga, Muda. We are Mudas. Especially in the Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Vakyahi Upadrata. We have seen in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, verse 10. So here it is said, Prajopadravam Alakshya. So many Upadravas. Praja Upadrava. So what is this Upadravas? Actually, we are very much harassed on account of the time, place, circumstance, and so on and so on. It is a very hopeless condition that we are living. So Shastra has recommended that you chant Hare Krishna. It is very hopeless condition. Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama Iva Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gadiranyata. Three times it is repeated. When you speak three times anything, it means I am giving stress on that. You do this, you do this, you do this. So that is the stressing. So it is like that. That in order to stop so many inconveniences of the present day life, Kali Yuga, Kali means quarrel, Kali means iron, simply creating quarrel, misunderstanding. For small misunderstanding, big war take place in this particular Kali Yuga. This is Kali. So Shastra has given us. Kali Yuga is very dangerous. One cannot make his life's mission fulfilled at all in Kali Yuga. One is not very happy at all in Kali Yuga. So many obstacles in the peaceful way of life, even within the family, within the society, politically, nationally, internationally, so many difficulties. Everyone has got the experience. Therefore, the recommendation of the Shastra, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Eva Kevalam. You cannot rectify all these difficulties because this is the age for all these difficulties. It is the influence by the time. You can never fight time because anybody fights against time can surpass the death, and that is impossible. So you cannot fight the time. It is a time that gives you all kind of sufferings and miseries and troubles and anxieties and whatnot, restlessness. So these kind of difficulties are given by the time. You must know it. You cannot fight it. You cannot adjust it. You cannot tolerate it. You cannot surpass it. Then what can you do? You can mitigate all these difficulties in, only one way. What is the only one way? Only by chanting the Harir Nama, the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all. That's all. So Krishna and Rama, they are the primary names. All other names are subordinate, not subordinate. There is no question of superior or inferior in the holy name of the Lord, but Lord Chaitanya has recommended this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Tasma Shastra Vidhanokha. Shastra gives regulative principles to follow. We have to accept that. And if we don't accept that, yes, Shastra Vidam Utsrujya Vartate Kamakarata. If you do whimsically, then na siddhim savapnoti. You cannot get any perfection of life. And na sukham, neither you will be happy. So this is the injunction of the Shastra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has also inaugurated this Hare Krishna movement 500 years ago for the benefit of the whole world. And now it is being accepted practically after Srila Prabhupada has propagated the holy name all over the world. And now Guru Maharaj is passing it on along with the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in nook and corner of all the villages and cities all over the world. So this is the only way to save us from all kinds of difficulties. Upadritaha. Manda Sumanda Batayo Manda Bhakyaki Upadrita. Upadrita means always disturbed in life. That is because of the Kali Yuga. You cannot say it is because of my karma, this karma, that karma. All might be very subordinate. But the main reason is the time. The time has been designed in such a way that it always gives you trouble. We are put in such a very precarious situation. There will be upadrita so many times. We should accept mattam cha vasudevasya. We should accept the instruction given by Vasudeva and the Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastra. They will speak the same thing. Guru means who speaks on the basis of Shastra. Otherwise, he is not Guru. And Shastra means the opinion of the great authorities like Guru. So just like Vyasadeva, Parashara Muni, Narad Muni. So modern Acharya, we don't neglect. We may differ from the philosophical point of view, just like Buddha, Shankaracharya, Vaishnavas, they are also gurus, but we are deviating from their philosophical point of view. They don't accept the philosophy of Buddha or Shankaracharya. Buddha's philosophy is zero, Sunyavadi, and Shankara philosophy, yesterday I told you, indirect zero, Nirviseshavadi, impersonal. So we defy this, Nirvisesha Sunyavadi. So Paschatya Deshatarinya, our Srila Prabhupada has defeated this both. But we have got all respect for them. Don't think that we disrespect them. Keshava Dhruta, Buddha Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha Hari. We respect them. And the Vaishnavas know Sankaracharya, Shankara, he is actually Lord Shiva, who is the greatest of Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambho. Shankara, Swayam Shankara, he is incarnation of Lord Shiva. And Lord Buddha is incarnation of Krishna. Why we will not respect? So they come for particular purpose to benefit the whole world. But that's for the time being, temporary, for those time when they came, not now, not for this. At present moment, that is not permanent what they gave. The permanent solution is Matham cha Vasudevasya. That is permanent. That is permanent. So Vasudevasya Matham. So you can see that Matham cha Vasudevasya Sanjahara Arjuna Dvaya. So Matham cha Vasudevasya is the current one. So what is that? Sarva Dharman Paritecha Mamekam Sharanam Raja. That is called Matam Cha Vasudevasya. This is Vasudevasya. You simply surrender unto me, Krishna says. Vasudeva says. It is real Matha. Everyone is surrendered. Everyone is surrendered. Even Sankaracharya says, Bhagavad Gita Kinchit Aditha. If you read a little, a portion of Bhagavad Gita, your life will be successful. That is the recommendation given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has admitted, Narayana Parabhyakta Sankaracharya, he has admitted. Actually, Nirvisheshavada is for the material world. Because it is Mithya. They say, the Sankarites, they say Mithya. We Vaishnavas, we don't say Mithya. Because Mithya means it cannot be. Why? Why it cannot be? If the absolute truth is true, how Mithya can come from the Param Satyam, Brahma Satyam? If Brahman is truth, how Janmadasya Yatha? Everything is born from Brahman. How something can be untrue? No, that is not. Truth is there, but when we misunderstand the truth or misuse the truth, then we are in trouble. That is Vaishnava philosophy. We have to find out what is the truth in everything. And that can be understood when you are advanced. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. That is truth. Nothing can be Mithya. Everything is truth. We have to find out. We have to find out. In the Isha Upanishad, the first mantra, Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. The truth. Everything is God's creation. And Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he says, Bhoktaram Yajñatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor, but we don't understand that. We don't understand that. That he is the proprietor. We are creating our proprietorship. That is untruth. That is Mithya. Jagat Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya, but our behavior with the Jagat, that is Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya. How it can be Mithya? Janmadasya Yataha. It is coming, emanating from the absolute truth. So how it is possible? So if we give up everything as Mithya, we know that Hari Sambandhi Vastuna, everything is related to Krishna. He is the superior proprietor of everything. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. So don't reject things as Jagat Mithya. Don't reject, but utilize it properly. That is wanted. Utility is the principle, Prabhupada said. So if we actually follow Matam Cha Vasudevasya and we want to stop the Upadrava, the disturbance of this material world, as Arjuna is following under the instruction of Krishna, He is doing everything under the instruction of Krishna, but he's doing political. He is contracting with this Brahmastra, another with another Brahmastra. As a military man, he is doing his duty, but he's doing everything under the instruction of Krishna. He didn't do whimsically like Ashwatthama. Though he knows this art, but he didn't do. He simply surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, what is this going on? What I shall do? Then Krishna will tell. You know the art of withdrawing this Brahmastra. He doesn't know. He has launched it. You release your Brahmastra and counteract this and bring it back. So when Krishna orders, he says yes, immediately, as per the desire of Krishna. Order of Krishna is nothing but his desire, Krishna's desire. He orders. And immediately, Arjuna does that. So this is the position of a devotee. Whether it is political or military, doesn't matter. Don't do anything thinking yourself as independent. That is wanted. Then we are Ashwatthama. You cannot be independent actually. If you don't accept Matam Chavasudevasya, then by the ear, you will be pulled by the Maya to do something else like Ashwatthama. You will be obliged to do something else which is dangerous to you. You are not independent. As soon as we forget this principle, then immediately we become fool enough to consider as independent. I am as good as God. So then we will make our decision like Ashwatthama. Both of them have released, Brahmastra weapon. What is the difference? Arjuna released on the order of Krishna, which is the desire of Krishna. Ashwatthama did whimsically. So both of them knows the art of releasing Brahmastra. Okay. And Arjuna knows more than Ashwatthama to counteract that. But he does that only just because he knows to counteract. He didn't counteract. He didn't. He simply surrendered to Krishna. But when Krishna said that you know the art of counteracting, so you release your weapon and you counteract and bring it under your control. When Krishna desired it, when Krishna ordered that, then Arjuna immediately he followed. This is the position of a devotee. Never think oneself as independent. You must be completely dependent on Guru and Gauranga. That is wanted. No independence. So then this will be automatically correct decision. So because everything is under the control of Krishna anyway. It is not under the control of the nuclear bomb provider or missile launcher or Ashwatthama. It is under the control of Krishna. Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasaha. But this fool's ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. He thinks that I am the doer, but he is not the doer. Everything is done. The activities are performed. Material activities are performed by the inferior nature, the three modes of material nature, not by the living entity. But the living entity unnecessarily entangled with the three modes, taken association of the three modes of material nature and different combination and thinking oneself as I am the doer. This is our problem. This is our problem. That's the difference between your Arjuna and this Ashwatthama. We are acting as Ashwatthama if we are acting materially. We are acting as Arjuna if we are acting as devotees. One who has got Guru will act as Arjuna. Both of them are releasing weapon. But one, Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama is to destroy the whole planet. And Arjuna also releasing the weapon, it is to not only save every planet, also bring the destroying Brahmastra under control. See the difference. This is the difference. So we have to remain silent. We have power, we have knowledge, but we don't know how to apply. We always misuse because of for want of sense gratification. We don't have knowledge to apply pure knowledge. So Arjuna also knows how to launch, but he did not apply. He surrendered to Krishna. That is the beauty. When he surrenders to Krishna, Krishna will tell what he desires. Then immediately you fulfill the desire of Krishna. Krishna is representative. We have our Guru Maharaj, spiritual master. So we should know the desire of spiritual master and we should fulfill by using our intelligence, our skill and everything. Not whimsically we should you falsely thinking that I am independent and I can do that. I have this potency and that potency. So we have to follow like Arjuna is doing. We must follow the instruction of Krishna, which is explained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Surrender unto him, sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Otherwise, we are going to create, disturbance to ourselves. So anything else Santagopi wants to add, or we can proceed to the next verse?
Kindly proceed.
Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 33. Tata sadhya tarasa
तथा साध्यतरसा
darunam gautami sutam
दारुणं गौतमी सुतं
vabandhamarshatam raksha
बबन्धमर्षतां राक्ष
pashum rashanayayata
पशुं रशनया यथा
tata asadhya tarasa
तथा साध्यतरसा
darunam gautami sutam
दारुणं गौतमी सुतं
babandhamarshatam raksha
बबन्धमर्षतां राक्ष
pashum rashanayayata.
पशुं राशनया यथा
Tata asadhya tarasa
तथा साध्यतरसा
darunam gautami sutam
दारुणं गौतमी सुतं
babandhamarshatam raksha
बबन्धमर्षतां राक्ष
pasum rashanayayata.
पशुं रशनया यथा.
Synonyms. Tata, thereupon.
तथा, thereupon.
Thereupon.
Asadhya, arrested.
Arrested.
Tarasa, dexterously.
Tarasa, dexterously.
Darunam, dangerous.
Darunam, dangerous.
Gautami Sutam, the son of Gautami.
Gautami Sutam, the son of Gautami.
Babanda, bound up.
Babanda, bound up.
Amarsha, angry.
Amarsha,
angry.
Tamra, Aksha, with copper red eyes.
Tamra, Aksha, with copper red eyes.
Copper red eyes.
Pashum, animal.
Pashum, animal.
Rashanaya, by ropes.
Rashanaya, by ropes.
Yatha, as it were.
Yatha, as it were.
As it were.
Translation, please repeat after me. Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper.
Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper.
Dexterously arrested the son of Gautami.
Dexterously arrested the son of Gautami.
And bound him with ropes like an animal.
And bound him with ropes like an animal.
Purport.
Ashwatthama's mother, Kripi, was born in the family of Gautama. The significant point in this shloka is that Ashwatthama was caught and bound up with ropes like an animal. According to Sridhar Swami, Arjun was obliged to catch this son of a Brahmana like an animal as a part of his duty, dharma. This suggestion by Sridhar Swami is also confirmed in the later statement of Sri Krishna. Ashwatthama was a bona fide son of Dronacharya and Kripi, but because he had degraded himself to a lower status of life, it was proper to treat him as an animal and not as a Brahmana.
Vrajeshwar Prabhu.
Haribol.
Shall I? Or?
Yeah, please.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुगं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताय नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Okay, so here we are seeing what exactly is happening and what decisions are being made, and based on what the decisions are being made. We can understand, even though we cannot in Kali Yuga read the elaborate Vedas, we cannot read the elaborate Vedas and understand how to conduct ourselves or how to take decisions, make decisions. Here we are seeing the decision is primarily made based on the order of Krishna, and that we will see, and how Krishna considers the decisions. And second, we'll also see that based on Guru Sadhu Sastra, they're taking the decision. So Arjuna is bound him with the ropes like an animal. So how can a Brahmana be even called as an animal? Don't you think it is offensive? Sometimes Prabhupada calls some person as a rascal. So people say that, oh, he is a big Swamiji. He has to speak very respectfully to everybody. He cannot be angry. Who told that devotee cannot be angry? This is simply mental speculation. People define that a good man, if he is a spiritual man, he should never ask for anything but give away and everything. Wrong ideas. Materialistic person are blind. Their definition of good person is need not be a good person. Prabhupada used to call rascals because they are rascals. Rascal means fool. Because they are foolish and they misguide the whole civilization. In the previous, see, if they are simply fool, an Acharya will not call him a fool. All fools he will accept as disciples and make them intelligent. Train them to be intelligent, take them as disciples, then make them fully intelligent, full of knowledge. So it is not that everybody in the material world is a Muda or we are living animalistic life. But everybody is not called an animal by the Acharya. He tolerates, he picks people from various places. Like one time they were reading in Bhagavatam, unless otherwise a person has done lot of pious activities, he cannot become a devotee. Many lifetimes he should have done pious activity. Very rare, then in very advanced stage, only he will become a devotee. Then he will become a small devotee, neophyte devotee of Krishna, Vishnu. So when they read it in this, Prabhupada was taking lecture on this verse in Prayag in Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela, ISKCON started making tents where Prabhupada said, like, we wanted to go. I want to go to Kumbh Mela because all transcendental persons will come. We should have our preaching programs there. Not for taking bath and getting Amrita and all that. Not for the Mela purpose, but for a preaching purpose. Then Prabhupada went there. Guru Maharaj said that he also went for the first time. I think 1 or 2 times he has gone. And Guru Maharaj, of course, was the main person in them establishing very big camp in Prayag today. ISKCON has its own camp, but the initial stages, Guru Maharaj had helped them do that. But that time, the one devotee asked, Prabhupada, I am seeing my life. One Western devotee asked, Prabhupada, I am seeing my life. 100% I'm sure I didn't do any pious activity. I was completely sinful. I did all meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication, all things I've done. And I really don't see my life that I really don't have any fortune. The greatly fortunate person. Actually, Bhagavatam mentions not only pious, but greatly fortunate persons. So he said that I don't see any fortune. I don't see any, only sin completely I see in my life. So many of the disciples agreed. They were looking at Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, Guru Maharaj always used to say this past time. Guru Maharaj said, Prabhupada said that I made that fortune for you. So the spiritual master gives the fortune for the person. But only thing is that disciple should be sincere to Guru. He should be submissive to Guru and submissively inquire from. Sincere service. We see sometimes people are very sincerely serving. Huh? Sometimes we don't see they are serving very nicely, but sincerity is missing. So with Guru Maharaj, there shouldn't be insincere. Okay, one level up. Somebody goes and they become very sincere devotee. Sometimes we don't see them submissive fully. They think sometimes the Guru Maharaj is not so very okay. Sometimes we see them, they are very sincerely serving and sincerely very submissive also. But they are not taking the instruction of Guru. They are not taking the instruction of Guru. The Guru gives instruction. You should inquire submissively. Inquiry is totally missing. There's no inquiry. So in this way, there are various levels that one can take, but fully one is sincere. Fully one is sincere. That is the perfection. That every fortune will be up. If there is any misfortune, we can understand being devotees. We can understand we are missing any of this only. Either we are not serving, either no opportunity to serve or no interest to serve. That must be the main reason for any frustration. Is the service is not there. And second is, if we are serving, we should inquire, am I sincerely serving? Am I submissively serving? Am I submissive? And I am getting instruction. This is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Tatviti pranipatina pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. When is completely fixed up in full knowledge without ignorance, he won't have frustration. But what and all are the reason? Jnaninas tattvadarshina. One can see everything, one will be beyond illusion. When Tatviti pranipatena pariprashnena, approaching a spiritual master, serving him sincerely, inquiring submissively, all these things is a package. All these are a package. And when that is done, then all knowledge will be there. One won't be a rascal. But here you see in Bhagavatam, the chastisement is starting where Arjuna, now it is written by Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva compiled. But right now who is speaking? Suta Goswami is speaking. And you see Suta Goswami is describing the scene that Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper. Now the question is, can a devotee be angry? Devotee must be, because in material world, people define, oh, you're a spiritual person, you should always smile. You should talk pleasing to the people. Prabhupada broke all the rules of what material people have defined us. What a good person is, what this is. If we are living according to the definition of the material world people, then we are certainly materialistic only. Because Krishna conscious movement has never been experienced before, and the bliss that Krishna conscious movement can provide in the transcendental level is nothing compared with the happiness with the material people are trying to yield. So we are here to give the bliss. People expect happiness from either mental, psychological talks or physical comforts. Oh, that ashram people, they are very nice. They built a hospital, everything free. Everything is free, everything is free. They are able to spend for the non-veg. They are able to spend for the prostitute. They are able to spend for drinking alcohol. All these on family ka luxury to unlimited. The son wants like 20,000 rupees mobile. The father is ready to get, and the father is more appreciative if the hospital is free. Son is, he's providing for the son 20,000, 30,000 mobile rupees worth mobile. But he's, oh, that ashram is very good. They are providing free. I went for my this treatment. It costed me 15,000. They did it free. But for your son, you have got 20,000 mobile free. Yeah? You have from your hand. So if you can spend, and your lifestyle is not so that you require 15,000 rupees, you can give it and get the service done. For a mobile, you can give 15,000. Why can't you give? But very good person. So when somebody is giving the happiness of the body, free service to the body, which is not him, he's a spirit soul, then they appreciate that person very much. Otherwise, they like speeches. Oh, that Swamiji gives very nice speech. So many followers. He is talking very palatable. He's giving me happiness, psychological level. He's giving me very much happiness. He's giving good words. He's speaking sweetly. He's not talking about death. He's not talking about before birth. He's not talking about God. He's not talking about Krishna. He's not talking about devotional service. They are very happy. When you see multi-million followers, then you will understand that this is being happening. Because when Prabhupada was asked, some devotees told Prabhupada, we are really sincerely working very hard and distributing books and calling them to our programs. Very less number of people are coming. But they are mentioning another yogi, that so many people are going to that Babaji. So many people are going to that yogi. Then Prabhupada smiled. Prabhupada knows everything. He is very stubborn. He goes straight. He knows that gradually people have to end up here only. No other way, no other way, no other way. All the ways will be closed. And they will be very frustrated. And this is the only way in Kali Yuga. Prabhupada knows, very confident in what he is preaching, what he is selling. Complete thorough faith. Then Prabhupada said that, yeah, if you go to a gold shop, you will find only limited customers. Because it's original. But when you go to an imitation shop, lot of customers will come, lot of sales will happen. The number of sales in a imitation shop is so much in a month. If you see, Prabhupada didn't say month and all, he just said he is like punch, sharp punch he'll give. Yeah, in gold or diamond shop where valuables are being sold, the originals, you'll find only limited customers, very little. But when it is to an imitation shop, you'll find more, lot and lot of people will go. That's all. Prabhupada said this and everything is understood. And I'm just adding it up, saying that how the sales, you just check the sales of how much sales is happening in a gold shop, very limited. Monthly, they would have done some 20, 30 sales or 50 sales, maybe 10, 20. But imitation shop, it will be like 1,000 sales, 500 sales, like this. So we don't get carried away by public opinion. Prabhupada, this is also Prabhupada's quote, that he said that we don't get carried away by public opinion. When public is opinion, we know their taste. The pig has its own taste. It eats the what is in the ditch, the shit, as like halwa. Very tasty, very yummy. But when it becomes a human, it is transformed into a human, properly cleaned, properly, they won't have taste on those. And we cannot give lecture on how the shit will taste. Sorry. Even though you expect it, we can't do it. I cannot give you motivational speech. If I can give you a motivational speech, I can motivate you to perform devotional service, love Krishna, introduce Krishna, because I'm really your well-wisher. Prabhupada never deviated, he never compromised on Krishna conscious philosophies. But people like this mental massage and physical massage. Insofar you are giving this, they will make you famous. And not only you are famous, anybody who is giving this, all of them are famous. Among them, you are one among them, and they will forget you. You will be forgetting in time. Great heroes were there. They were all forgotten. In history book, we have only some Lord Dalhousie, this, that, and all that, and some Mughals who ruled the kingdom. Before that, there were thousands of people. Where were they? Where were the heroes of you? Everybody forgotten. Now that will also be taken away from history book. All the students are asking, even I asked, what is the use of history book? It was absolute nonsense. And people talk Mahatma Gandhi, he was a great person, this, that, and all. And he's in the jokes now. No students bothers about Mahatma Gandhi. He's not Mahatma. Prabhupada said he's Duratma. He also was saving the bodies. The person who saves the body is not saving the person. So sometimes we see that the devotees are angry, but the anger has an amazing reason, specific reason, especially when Vaishnava Aparadha is performed. How nicely Lord Chaitanya is mentioning, there shouldn't be a self-righteous anger when somebody is blaspheming us. Then Trinadapi Sichi Suni Chena Tarori Vasahisuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada. Okay, no problem. Okay, no. Sometimes, of course, we get angry, but that should be thrown away. Maybe it can go into crying or feeling bad about. No, I am not that, but they are telling I am like that. That is okay. Trinadapi, just tolerate. But when it is done to another person, when it is to Vaishnava, not to another person, of course, in the previous verse, you can see Arjuna is getting angry when it is done to the public also. See, the problem is between Arjuna and Ashwatthama. But Ashwatthama released the nuclear weapon which will destroy the entire world. How that can be done, yeah? This is completely asuric in nature. Not seeing the consequence, not feeling what others are feeling, how we can, this is very, very wrong. So Krishna is describing in Bhagavad Gita one full chapter, in a particular chapter, around 10 to 15 slokas, what is the quality of Ashura? He tells to Arjuna, Arjuna, you need not worry. There are divine and demoniac qualities. And you have all divine quality. You're very dear to me in that way. And he discriminates and explains what is demoniac quality and what is divine quality. We can take this and we can actually check ourselves. In which category am I falling? Because Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you need not fear. Because you have divine qualities. You need not worry. Arjuna, you have divine qualities. And you're dear to me. So, very dangerous actually. And at least when we get a guru, when we surrender to pure devotees, then even that demoniac quality will become transcendental quality. Anybody will can get attracted to. Samsitir haritoshanam. What kind? Atma ramaschamunayo nirgranti abhiurukrami kurvanti ahait kim bhaktim idambuda guno harihi. At least in bhakti, there should be ahituki bhakti. Without expectation, without cessation, pure, unalloyed, loving devotional service can transform anybody into a pure devotee. Anybody. Any worst case of person, even that Ashwatthama, he turns a little bit towards Krishna consciousness. All good qualities will get manifested in. See the difference between preaching of Bhagavad Gita and preaching of Bhagavad. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining so many gunas where Asuras will have, Devas will have. But Traigunya Vishaya, we are born with Trigunas. Arjuna is asking, even though if somebody doesn't want to do bad, but he is bad, what to do? He's born like that. Then Krishna is telling Lachonli, Arjuna, and in that purport, Prabhupada is explaining how in last life they desired that kind of body. They desired, they did that kind of work in the. We are the reasons for what we are today. We cannot blame anybody. My father, my brother, my sister, my employee, my here, my thee. Nobody can, we can. Even your employee is a postman. We are the reason. So we see many acharyas in their songs, they will condemn themselves. They will condemn themselves. My dear Lord, I am the reason for forgetting you. I am the sole reason. Nobody else. I am the reason. This self-condemning has, we can see very nicely. And once we realize them, then we see that the ashric quality and demigod quality is not being developed, but it's naturally there. Naturally there. Even when Indra tried to kill Hiranyakashipu's son in the womb of Kayadu, that time Prahlad Maharaj name was not kept, nothing was there. She was pregnant and he has gone to the forest for doing tapasya to get that I should never die, that boon. In order to get it, he has gone to the forest. So Kayadu is there. Then Indra thinks this is the right time to attack. There's nobody is protecting the kingdom. And so Indra attacked Hiranyakashipu's kingdom because Hiranyakashipu has captured all the planetary system by his power. Now he wants to become immortal. Then he went to capture. That time he caught Kayadu and he want to kill the womb of that baby. He wants to kill Kayadu so that the baby will also die. She's an Ashuri. She's the wife of Hiranyakashipu. So you see here, even Indra is ruthless behind that this position. Deva or Asura, anybody who has forgotten Krishna, is naturally like this. You cannot expect any good quality. The so-called good quality description in this material world is not transcendental quality. So Guru Maharaj always, when he is mentioning about Vaishnavas, he will never mention the word good quality. He will always use the word only transcendental quality. We have to develop transcendental qualities, not good qualities. With the transcendental qualities, everything will fall into place. Everything. Being friendly with Guru Maharaj, talking to him, inquiring from him, becoming attached to his lotus feet, serving him affectionately, hearing from him attentively, all are transcendental qualities. Serving, whatever service Guru Maharaj has given us, we serve nicely. What right we have to directly serve Krishna? What right you have directly you approach Krishna? You envied him. That is why you have this material body. And shamelessly, what face are you showing to him? No. We have to actually submissively surrender to our spiritual master, Acharya Parampara, talk their glories, hear their glories, and then from them we hear about Krishna and Gauranga. We talk that glory. In this way, nicely serve, nicely, then all the transcendental qualities will come. And at that time, we need not develop material quality. So, very, very, very important that we don't get carried away by, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually doesn't know devotional service. So in Bhagavad Gita, he is just telling outwardly what is happening. Inwardly, what is happening is not knowing. Krishna is not knowing. I openly say that. He is not an authority on devotional service. Gauranga is the same Krishna. When he comes as Gauranga, he is the authority in devotional service. But to understand the material world, of course, Krishna is perfect because he created it as Purusha. As Purusha Avatara, he created the material world. So to understand the intricacies of material world, for preaching, Prabhupada said, and Guru Maharaj also says, Bhagavad Gita is very, very essential for preaching purpose to understand how the material world functions. For example, if there is a new product coming in your hand, you immediately take the notes, you immediately take how to operate, take the manual, just go through it once, basically. So I am going into another world with my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj wants me to fight a war. Then immediately I'll see what are all the weapons there in the new situation. I'll take the manual. The manual should be authorized. The person who created it should have given me. So I just get into it. And Bhagavad Gita is the manual for this present existence of the material world. How everything is arranged, how everything is done. You want to be an expert warrior. There are two things which are required. One is to go through the weaponry. Another is to get trained from an expert stalwart Senapati. So we have to get this training, both trainings. I don't read the manual, but I want to get trained by the Senapati. You don't even know how to hold the weapon. So both are essential. Having a weapon in our hand, at the same time, having an expert trainer, expert spiritual master who will guide. Same way, this weapon which is given is Bhagavad Gita, which describes about the material world and the present existence. But it cannot give us the complete transcendental realization. The Bhagavata Bhakta and the book Bhagavatam alone can give the expert transcendental realizations, transcendental qualities. So even Ashura can become. But here, so the question is here, we come back to the question. Arjuna is eyes blazing in anger. But if you see the previous verse, actually, two things Arjuna is very, very angry. One is Vaishnavi. His wife, Draupadi, is very dear to Krishna. She's a Vaishnavi. And a great offense has been done on her. And all the 5 children were Vaishnavas. They were killed. So Vaishnava Aparadh cannot be tolerated by a devotee. Point number 1. Point number 2. Being a second comes the point number 2. Where being a Kshatriya, he has that protective mentality. What they are telling in Kali Yuga as Kshatriya is not a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means will get anger for everything. For self-righteous anger. This is totally wrong. Kshatriya's anger is completely in control. Of course, he will get angry. Even Brahmana will get angry. Vaishnava will also get angry. But for what purpose that anger is being used? If without any reason anybody is getting angry regularly, then that is tamoguna. But is it self-righteous anger? No, the Kshatriya is seeing this, that how the whole world is getting disturbed because of this one man foolishly doing this. He doesn't even know how to retract it. To take it back also he doesn't know. And he's releasing it foolishly. And everybody will get disturbed. The whole living entities will get disturbed because of his only problem is me. He has to attack only me. Why he is attacking everybody? Why he is putting many, many people into trouble? So Arjuna became angry. So this is the second reason. So you see that how Ashwatthama's mother Kripi was born in the family of Gautama. So we see here that Ashwatthama is bound by ropes like an animal. And how a person like that has to be treated is he's an animal. He's an animal. But they just need to come. Like Kayadu's boy was about to be killed. Then came Narada Muni and said that no, leave the lady alone. I will take care. Then he said then Indra gave a logic that surely Hiranyakashipu's son will be Asura only. And then he has to be killed because he'll also create calamity. Then Narada Muni said, no, not like that. I will take care of, he is a pure devotee. See, he declared even before born, Narada Muni has full faith that devotional service will work. Sravanam will work. Kirtanam will work. He said, no, he's already a pure devotee. You need not worry, he'll be a pure devotee. That guarantee I'm giving. You leave this lady alone. So to that pregnant lady, Narada Muni took to his ashram. Even though he's said to be a traveler preacher, Narada Muni has ashram. But he won't generally stay there. He keeps traveling like Guru Maharaj. He has a base in Mayapur. Because we can see Narada Muni's one ashram when I went in Vrindavan in Govardhan Parikrama, they showed a place that this is the place where the Narada Muni's ashram was there. Narada Muni had an ashram in Vrindavan as a residence. Of course, he will keep on traveling. He will not stay in one place long time. But still he had his ashram. So this Vrindavan I have heard, but I don't know other places where he has many ashrams. One ashram he has next to the house of Brahma. That is sure. In Mayapur he has an ashram, Narada Muni. And every day and night Lord Chaitanya dances in his courtyard. That is Srivas Angan. So wherever Srivas is doing kirtan, that place Lord Chaitanya will be present. So wherever Narada Muni is singing, Lord Chaitanya is present, devotional services, nourishing everything. So this is the statement of the scripture, wherever Srivasera Kirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eternally stays. So here Kayadu, Prahlad was brought up in that ashram. It may be in the house of Brahmaji, I don't know, next to the house of Brahma, father of Narada, or it may be Navadvip, where eternally a residence for Narada is there, or it may be Vrindavan next to Kusum Sarovar. There is actually Narada's ashram. So it may be any place actually. He taught the subject of Krishna consciousness. And he initiated Prahlad Maharaj in the womb itself, he initiated. Giving instruction to the spiritual master, he received instruction nicely. And then he came as a devotee, Asura. Asura's son was not an Asura, he was a pure devotee. The word Ashura is not by Kula and Kotra. Somebody may be born, Vena was born in the Kshatriya family, but he was completely Ashuric in nature. Sahar Maharaj's children, they were all born in the proper Maharaja's family, but they were all in Ashuric in nature. Indra acted against Krishna. Indra acted against Krishna. He became Ashurik. Indra became like Ashurik. When Krishna asked for the Parijata flower plant, he has so many plants. Can't he give one plant to Krishna? Oh, it should not go to Buloka. It should be only within my courtyard. He doesn't even know who created everything. So it is, one turns away from Krishna, that moment we are said to be Ashuri. Once we become favorable to Krishna, we like Krishna, we like Guru Maharaj, we take association of pure devotees. Even though Krishna we may not like, we may not know, we may have envy, we may have sense gratificatory attitudes, Krishna Buliya Bhagavan Chakare may be there in us. It doesn't matter. Just take the friendship of a pure devotee. He is a pure person. He doesn't, selfless person. He doesn't have anything for himself. You can never find a selfless soul like this, like Guru Maharaj in this entire universe. I can promise. I can promise this. He's really, really a genuine and sincere soul without any personal motivation. He's only a well-wisher. One should be very, very, very fortunate to have friendship, but he is just openly available to everybody. He's not such a, okay, he's a VIP, he has to this. Even though his people around him are trying to make him in that way, but he maintains a simplicity. He maintains a simplicity. Despite so many calamities were thrown upon him. How many death he faced the death so many times. And of course, he was saved by Krishna, not his own personal endeavor. He cooperated with Krishna by going to the hospital. He cooperated with Krishna by sitting in that exercise machine. He cooperated with Krishna's plan. He showed that my Guru Maharaj has given me instruction. He's not living for the living of sense gratification with all the people. Now we ask our life, why am I alive? There's no reason to be alive. We can be dead even this moment. It won't make any difference in the world. All of us, you die today, is there any difference will it make in your life or in anybody's life? Except we practice Krishna consciousness and become devotee. Guru Maharaj has already become that when during Prabhupada's time itself. Carrying the order of the spiritual master is making his life go on and benefiting everybody without any selfish motive. So a pure devotee can become angry when the Vaishnavas are offended. When Vaishnavas are offended, there are three things. Three things when the Vaishnavas are offended. One thing, if they are too powerful, if you can argue, you should argue and defeat them. This is you should do when Vaishnavas are offended. You should argue upon it. You should tell properly. And the second, you cannot do that. You have to get up and walk away from that place. However VIP they are, you should not tightly sit there. Oh, I am bound by this, I am bound by that. He's my boss, he's this. No, you should walk away. Third, you cannot walk away, you cannot argue. Then you have to kill yourself. Only one place in the entire scripture it is given that one can kill themselves. Yes, when the Vaishnavas are being affected. So the Arjuna's anger is not self-righteous. When the Lord is offended, when the pure devotees are offended, Hanuman became very angry and burnt the Lanka. That is the best example Prabhupada is showing in Nectar of Instruction. You can read how anger can be utilized in the service of Krishna. Nowhere it is said that devotee cannot become angry. Devotee will be very soft. Devotee will softly chant. This is the most bakwas I have ever heard. One time I asked one very senior devotee, casually we are talking, and said, so we were creating a question paper. So it was multiple choice. We were thinking, so the devotee should chant dash. Number 1, loudly. Number 2, softly. Number 3, within the mind. So they're choosing softly. Who told this? Who told you should chant softly? You should chant loudly. How beautifully now Guru Maharaj Chaitanya Leela class is going on, that in which Haridas Thakur is describing how all the Stavara Jangamas will be saved, how the moving and non-moving living entities will be saved. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking the question to Haridas Thakur, and Haridas Thakur is giving the answer. All the living entities, by the loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the living entities will be delivered. Become shameless, yaar. Loudly chant, yaar. Loudly chant. Oh, you want to maintain your position among others? They will say that he is loudly chanting and your prestige will go. People are loudly chanting so many movie songs and so many bakwases going on loudly in social media and everywhere. And you suddenly become ashamed, you want to maintain your prestige. Why? So I don't want to disturb him by chanting. Hey, bakwas, how can chanting be disturbing? You think chanting is disturbing and you are a devotee. What is your faith on the holy name? How can you become a preacher? And this neophyte want to become the preacher and he'll be everywhere. He'll be everywhere. This bakwas will be. So chanting should be loud enough, loud. And I just want to conclude. It's already 15 minutes late. I want to conclude by saying only one pastime that Guru Maharaj always used to say. Like he innocently said, but now when we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, we understand how Prabhupada, what is the relationship between Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj? Can be very, very nicely, how top class. Nobody can equal it. We can understand it now, how nicely it is. Like Guru Maharaj said, like he used to chant, Guru Maharaj used to chant very loudly, because Guru Maharaj, whenever he's chanting loudly, he doesn't have any mind, mental thought or anything. He is able to very nicely concentrate on chanting only. So Guru Maharaj always used to chant very loudly in the temple hall and all that. So one time, devotees, they complained. All the devotees, many of them, Western people yesterday, they're allergic to noise. India is full of noise, full of noise. But Western is full of, they are allergic to noise. They want silence, like a graveyard. Graveyard will be very silent. People want to be grave. They have to go to graveyard. They describe, you have to be a grave. That means you have to show seniority. That person doesn't know what to speak. They open the mouth, we will understand them. So they'll be very grave, showing that they are very big people. Once they open the mouth, we understand, okay, oh, this is what you are. So being grave, being quiet, all these are, graveyard is very quiet, one can go there. But Krishna conscious movement is with fully loud noises of Mirdanga, Kartal and Kirtan and all these things. It is very, very loud. And very happy and very blissful. Not in a destructive way. There's a bomb coming, very loud noise, and there is destruction. But this is a loud noise which will make one blissful, eradicate all the problems of this material world. So they were chanting loudly, and the devotees went and complained to Srila Prabhupada. Jai is chanting very loudly. Then Prabhupada called Guru Maharaj. Then Guru Maharaj went and he said, you're chanting very loudly. He said, yes, Guru Maharaj, when I chant loudly, I'm able to chant very nicely. My mind is not wavering here and there and like this. I'm feeling very nice chanting loudly. Then Prabhupada said, that is good. Here, these people feel it's a disturbance. There is a park there. You go there and chant loudly. All the plants and birds, everything will hear. You go there and chant. Prabhupada never asked him to chant softly. Sometimes we see leader calling somebody and chant softly. Others are getting disturbed. But you hear what Prabhupada said, no? So then Guru Maharaj, next day onwards, he started going into the park. And he remembered what Prabhupada said. Actually, Guru Maharaj at that time was a small boy. He didn't read Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it is written that Haridas Thakur is telling this, that by loud chanting, the birds and animals and the trees and the moving and non-moving, all living entities will get liberated. He didn't know this. He just Guru told, they'll all hear, you go. They are not ready to hear. These devotees are not ready to hear. You go there to that forest and chant. Not forest, that garden. Then every day, Guru Maharaj used to, and he used to become more happy, because Earlier, he just felt very nice chanting loudly, but now he is very happy because all these birds and these trees and everything, all these animals and insects, microorganisms, all these things are getting liberated. I am preaching. My guru told on the order of the spiritual master. People may give many explanation because he just want to engage him. He sent him out because he was disturbing. This is their mental speculation. And today we are seeing in the Shastra that whatever Guru Maharaj has said, Prabhupada said, is 100% the technique which is used by great souls. Then many examples are given. Rama liberated, Krishna liberated, my dear Lord Chaitanya. Haridas Thakur is telling, my dear Lord Chaitanya, when Rama came, he took everybody. And new souls came into this universe. When Krishna came, and he also took everybody, new souls came into this universe. Now you came, you're liberating everybody with the loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And everybody is getting delivered, Prabhu. All moving, non-moving entities, everybody simply this vibration. Sometimes you will see that they are not repeating it. And that is only there, the forest, how the birds. And in Jarikanta, Lord, you proved it. Jarikanta forest, you proved it. And one more is all the trees are echoing actually back. They are echoing. People think the echo is coming from the forest. But actually it is not echo. It is they are repeating the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This Brahma is telling yaar, who's the creator is telling yaar, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Empowered Guru Maharaj to deliver all the living entities. He went to the forest, he loudly chanted in the garden, in the outside, in the road. He never felt ashamed to express Krishna consciousness. He never maintained a private life of Krishna consciousness and a public life of a motivational speaker. No. No duplicity, no diplomacy. He is the original Acharya, original spiritual master. Pure, completely surrendered to Prabhupada and carrying out Prabhupada's instruction as it is without manipulating. No interpretation. How to identify? Very clearly written. How to identify a spiritual master? Many people ask us, how to identify a spiritual master? Go and identify anywhere. Go and identify whether he is exactly following what without interpretation, without manipulation. You see, as it is propagating, what is Guru Maharaj propagated? What Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur set up Gaudiya Math, and he establishes all the processes of devotional service. And the same thing was done by Prabhupada in an expanded manner. Practically, you see, and the same thing is done by Guru Maharaj in an expanded manner. More, thousands of temples. Thousands of temples. 108 temple Prabhupada did. Now Guru Maharaj doing 1008. All over the world now. All of them are helping. But Guru Maharaj is really a stalwart. We are seeing, after I heard that yesterday, I got this realization how amazing that Prabhupada gave this instruction in a very, very young age to Guru Maharaj. That you go out and you loudly chant in the garden. All the living entities will get delivered. Guru Maharaj is doing whenever and when he goes to foreign countries, he will always take a walk. Even when he came to Coimbatore, there was like a forest. Now it's all full buildings. But before like 20 years, it was all like not developed place. But Guru Maharaj still takes walk until during the morning chantings. He always chants with the devotees. He will chant some rounds because we don't complain to Guru Maharaj chanting loudly. We love Guru Maharaj chanting loudly. We love chanting loudly. No other devotee should feel another devotee chanting loudly. No devotee. If you are doing it, you are envious by heart. It is your envy that you cannot accept. Krishna will come out of anybody's mouth. Anybody's chanting is also non-different from Krishna. Why you are getting irritated when some other devotee is chanting loudly? Why not? Why not hear that Krishna coming out of his mouth? Hey, you hear my Krishna, I hear your Krishna, yeah. But you are thinking the others chanting is disturbing you and you want to close your ears? Nonsense. It is utter nonsense. Holy name is not different from Krishna. Sravanam comes first there, then comes Kirtanam. Even while doing Kirtan, Prabhupada established a system. One devotee will sing. Every devotee should hear. After hearing, we all sing it back, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What is wrong? What is wrong? So now, because of people told complaint to Srila Prabhupada, so many animals and birds and insects got saved because of Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is an amazing personality. He is a pure devotee, non-deviant from Srila Prabhupada. One person I can really tell you can trust. He is an amazing personality. After I heard the Chaitanya Leela yesterday from Guru Maharaj, 2 days we are hearing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is Namacharya. How to chant the holy name is very clearly given. One has to chant the holy name loudly, never softly, never. So nicely chant loudly. And Guru Maharaj, some people ask him in office and all how we can chant loudly. Then he says, okay, in mind you can chant loudly. Inside the mind you chant loudly. Nobody can. So very rarely we have to chant softly. Very rarely. But primarily we should chant loudly because we have to always preach. Yare deko, kahe kaho, Krishna Upadesh. Yare deko, whoever you see. So we can see animal, plants, trees, anything we see, we can actually chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So don't become restrictive, become broad-minded, and take to the shelter of lotus feet of pure devotees like Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and stick back with Krishna consciousness in an enthusiastic manner. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Jai Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai.
Wonderful. Sri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Anybody has any questions, doubts, suggestions, clarifications? Please share with us. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So, if there are no questions, suggestions, or clarification, let's wind up and join back sharp at 5 o'clock by chanting congregationally the holy name loudly and continue with our Srimad Bhagavatam class. I can see something in the chat. Let me see what's it. Okay, Jai. Okay, thank you. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Bhagavat Satsang ki Jai.
Jai.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namo.